What's up, y'all? It's Rachel bringing you another real estate market update from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. First, I'll talk a little bit about the national and local markets, and then I'll talk about the rental market and what we're seeing there. Make sure you stay tuned until the very end because I'm going to let you know what to expect in 2021. If you've been following the real estate housing market at all, you'll know that the biggest challenge we're facing right now is the historically low inventory. This low inventory continued into November, and nationally, we are seeing the lowest levels of inventory since NAR started tracking these in 1982. Nationally, we're seeing the highest home values and sales in over a decade. Over this past year, we've seen the pandemic push people to move out of the more densely populated areas. Or folks just move where they want to live because they can work from home now. Just recently, one of our major area employers, State Farm, shuttered its doors. Not because they're going out of business, but because they realize now that they can pay their employees to work remotely from home and save the company huge overhead costs. What else are we seeing locally? Well, we are seeing 7.5% fewer listings in Murfreesboro from this time last year. Comparing this to what we're seeing in Rutherford County overall and Nashville, we see that Murfreesboro has seen the biggest dip in housing inventory. The law of supply and demand dictates that when inventory is down, home values are going to increase. We have seen the median home values in Murfreesboro increase 8.3% year over year, and we're currently looking at around $307,000 for the median price of a single-family home in Murfreesboro. You'll notice on this chart that the gap in home values between Murfreesboro City and Rutherford County overall has closed in within the last 3 years. The median home value in Rutherford County for a single-family home is just barely under $300,000. We haven't even seen the biggest increase in the area though. Nashville's median home values are up nearly 10% at just over $400,000 for a single-family home. While inventory has been down, there are still many willing and able buyers looking for a home to get into to take advantage of these historically low interest rates. Closed sales are up in Murfreesboro year over year, nearly 12%. In Rutherford County, nearly 15%. And in Nashville, it's still up about 1% from this time last year. If you notice on this graph, Nashville had a slight dip in closed home sales. The dip in sales matches up with the start of the stay-at-home order. While real estate is considered an essential business in Tennessee, I know that Nashville did have stricter measures in place to curb the spread of the virus. They are a more densely populated city. So even with that little dip in the spring, we see that closed sales did rebound and end up higher overall. While locally the housing market is strong, there is some looming uncertainty still with what impacts that we'll see in 2021 from the pandemic. I see all over YouTube these channels that just want to talk about how we're on the brink of disaster just so that you'll click on their video. While I nor anyone else can predict the future, there is still some looming economic uncertainty. Here locally, we have seen the return of hedge funds buying up single-family properties just to rent out. In talking with my friend that studied economics at MTSU, he did explain to me that these hedge funds like to purchase homes in larger cities when there are times of economic uncertainty. Since land tends to hold its value over time, they can afford to take that risk. So even if the price drops during a recession, they'll just hold on to it and sell it after. We even have a new construction neighborhood in the Blackman area being built by Old South. That's going to be a neighborhood entirely of single-family rental properties bought by one of these hedge funds. If history repeats itself, we have previously had hedge funds enter our housing market before and purchase up a lot of the lowest priced single-family homes in our area. What that did when they've been here before is it causes the single-family home properties to rise because as they take that home off of the market for home ownership and turn it into a rental property, there's naturally going to be fewer homes for sale for homeowners. This really can be a challenge for that first-time home buyer that's buying without equity and tends to come in at that lower price point. Looking ahead into 2021, we're seeing 3 major trends. Remote workers, move where you want to. The ability to work from home has been a huge factor in where people are determining where to move in 2020, and I expect this trend to continue into 2021. Many of you who have reached out to me looking for a new home in Tennessee even indicated that the reason you're moving to Tennessee is because you can work from home and you can work anywhere now. I'm even getting some of you saying that you want to live in the country, but you want to have good internet. Well, even some of our small towns do have the fiber optic cable internet, but you always want to do your buyer's due diligence before you start looking around in the town. Check Google. What are the internet service providers in the area? So just find out before you emotionally start investing in moving to a specific area. Moving out of the cities. We saw a trend start in 2020 with people moving out of the more densely populated cities into an area with either a bigger house or just more space to move around. I expect this to continue into 2021. Many of the more urban areas did experience a more intense lockdown situation during the stay-at-home order. Locally, certain types of businesses did have to close for about 8 weeks during the start of the stay-at-home order, but we never reached a full lockdown like many places had. Here in Tennessee, real estate is considered essential business, so I've always been able to work, though I have been working more from home now. Generational trends. We are seeing more Gen Z buyers enter the housing market as first-time home buyers. As millennials like me are getting just a little bit older, we are even seeing millennials getting kind of a move-up house as their family expands. They need a little more room. As I noted in my Retiring in Tennessee video, I think we're also going to continue to see a trend of people retiring in Tennessee. They want those 4 distinct seasons. They want the tax structure that we have here. Just go check out my video and it'll tell you all about that. I'm pretty sure Tennessee is the new Florida. I'll leave a link to my Retiring in Tennessee video down in the description. But what can you expect as a buyer in 2021? As widespread use of the vaccine is on the horizon, it's expected that we'll see a boost in listings and a ramp up of new construction that will in turn make it less challenging for buyers. What does this mean for you as a seller? Home values are still up and they're expected to reach record highs. Sellers are still in a good position in 2021 as buyers are still clamoring to get into any house they can and take advantage of these low interest rates. I'm interested to know, what are you trending toward in 2021? Are you buying or are you selling? Are you moving to a new state? Let me know down in the comments. Make sure to hit that like button if you learned something new today, and click subscribe with the bell so you won't miss a single video. I've got so much more to tell you about real estate and life in the Murfreesboro area and beyond, so I'll see you at the next video.